I worked for the same company for about 16 years, had been put into management and sent out to Nashville. And I had a situation where I wasn't able to get to my children because I don't have anybody else in Dixon that can help support our children. If anything happens at school, if they get sick. So I took a lower paying job to be in Dixon so that I could provide that support for my children.
Hey there, welcome to the Courtroom Files. So we have a child support hearing today from Judge Wolfe's court, and as you could see in the intro, this revolves around the mother's choice to voluntarily reduce her income. Now, she had reasons to do so. Specifically, her job was located quite a distance away from where they reside, so it was creating problems for her availability when it came to the children. The question becomes, is this the father's problem? So that is what this hearing revolves around. His child support got increased due to her voluntarily reducing her earning potential. So the judge has to listen to that and rule on it, and that's what we present to you today. So let us know what you think in the comments about how the judge handled this and how his final ruling went, whether you agree or disagree. We'd love to hear that. Please do consider putting a thumbs up on the video if you like it. That helps others find it. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and let's roll the game film.
This is another appeal from the same date, Judge. Both parties are here. I believe the issue in this case, Judge, is it was another modification. He was paying $504 per month, and based on the income information provided on December 16th, it went up to $732 per month. And the issue is, I spoke with the parties before court, Judge. I believe the issue is that Mr. Doncuse is saying that in January of 2023, Ms. Doncuse made almost double the amount of money that she's making now. We based her income on $2,080, which is her actual income at this time. Back in January of 2023, she made $3,359 per month gross income. So a little over $1,200 difference, or $1,200 difference in income per month. And he's of the opinion, they're both ready to testify, but he's of the opinion that we should impute her income at the amount that she was capable of making back at that time, but we just based it on the actual income at the time.
So we need to have a hearing on that? Well, let me hear his.
Yes, sir.
It is Mr. Doncuse's appeal.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Doncuse, you talked with Mr. Powers. Are you requesting to have an evidentiary hearing?
Correct.
All right, we'll have that hearing. Have a seat. It is a trial de novo on,
yes, sir,
on the appeal, so
yes, sir.
Mr. Doncuse, you need to come up, have a seat at the table.
You want to hear from us first, Judge?
We will hear from whatever proof. You have the
yes,
moving party, so we'll
yes, sir.
put you on first, if you will. Are you calling your client?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Doncuse, if you'll raise your right hand. You'll come around and have a seat in the witness stand, please.
You state your name, please, ma'am.
Kara Doncuse.
Hey, Ms. Kara Doncuse, did you request the state to file a petition for modification on your behalf?
I did because I received a letter from Child Support
You have to
Services.
speak up now so that you can pick up on
Sorry.
the microphone.
I did because I received a letter from Child Support Services stating that I could send in for a review.
That's fine. And we filed that on or around October 29th of last year.
Yes, sir.
And our first court appearance was December of last year, December 16th?
Yes,
Does that
sir.
sound familiar? And on that date, what income information did you provide?
My current income information, where I've been working since April of 24.
Okay, and how much do you make per hour?
$12.35 an hour.
Well, that's how much you make now, but at that time, how much did you make?
At that time, I was making $12 an hour.
$12 an hour, but you got a 35-cent an hour raise since that time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to clarify with the judge why we used $12 instead of $12.35.
Right.
And I believe you You have a parenting plan in place, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
With days of visitation? Would those days of visitation in that parenting plan be 257 for you and 108 for Mr. Donkey's?
Yes, sir.
And those are the hours that you provided proof of, and we use those in the calculation. And there was no work-related childcare or health insurance or anything like that that was included.
No, sir.
And I believe, Judge, that was all the information that was provided to us at the time. Mr. Doncuse appeared and provided his information. We can get that from him when he
So
testifies.
at the time of the hearing, and she was making $12 an hour, and now she's making $12.35 an hour.
Yes, sir.
How many hours a week do you work?
On average, 40 now.
40?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you worked? What is the nature of your job?
I work at a gas station,
And where is that gas station?
right here on Highway 46 in Dixon,
Okay. And how long have you worked at that?
since April of 2024.
And where did you work before then?
I worked for the same company for about 16 years, had been put into management and sent out to Nashville. And I had a situation where I wasn't able to get to my children because I don't have anybody else in Dixon that can help support our children. If anything happens at school, if they get sick. So I took a lower paying job to be in Dixon so that I could provide that support for my children.
You took a lower paying job voluntarily to come to work in Dixon so you'd have more access to your children.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what were you making at the prior job?
At my prior job, I was on salary. I think I was making around 840 gross a week before taxes.
Okay. The prior child support obligation was calculated using that income, though?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the only change has been that you voluntarily took a lower paying job?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Powers, anything further?
No, sir, I believe that's everything, Judge.
How is this any different than a man who becomes voluntarily underemployed?
I didn't see any difference, Judge.
There isn't.
But this happened after the fact, after the hearing. This came about, and so.
But you agree that the only change would have been her voluntarily reducing her income, which I
Yes, sir.
understand. I mean, you want to be close to your children, but.
Right. He, all of his family moved to Clarksville, where he moved to after our divorce. So I don't have them to help support if anything happens with the children, which is the only reason that I ended up taking a lower paying job, was just for that support for my kids.
All right. Well, thank you. You can step down. You have anything else, Mr. Powers?
No, sir.
All right. I'm going to set aside the findings and recommendations of the child support magistrate and reinstate the original court-ordered child support. And I do that, and I make this specific finding that the only change in this case that occurred was, according to the proof, the fact that the mother took a lower paying job in order to have better access and more opportunities to be with her children. And in this court's opinion, that's a voluntary reduction of her income is identical to a man. If a man was employed at a higher paying wage and voluntarily reduced his income to have a better opportunity for the children, which we see all the time, in my opinion, that would not be a basis for the reduction of his child support. In fact, it would be found to be voluntarily underemployed. So I'm just simply finding that there is no basis on those sole facts for the increase in Mr. Doncous's child support. So I'm reinstating the original order.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I agree with you on that fact,
All right.
but it wasn't something I could
Well,
change after the fact. So-
I don't blame her for doing what she did. I
Yes,
think
I
she was
don't-
justified in doing it, but the increase in his child support was not justified by anything that he may have done. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, do please take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on the video. We'd really appreciate that. And if you want to keep the fun going, check out the video on the screen right now.